Okay. And can you recall who telephoned you?
No, the person didn't say their name.
So you assume the call was from GCOM.
Yes.
Did you have any indication that it was from anybody else?
No.
Did you go anywhere as a result of the call?
I went to Ashman Village.
Can you recall around what time you got there?
No, but it was very late in the evening.
Was it dark?
Very dark.
And did you enter the building?
Yes, I entered the building.
Did anything happen when you entered the building?
Yes, I was assaulted by Mr. Bond, James Bond, party agent, I think for APNO.
When you say assaulted, like, tell us exactly what happened.
He chucked me on my shirt and then he grabbed the badge and then he said, "Oh, you're a DRO," and that was it.
Okay, when he said you were DRO, did you say anything?
I shook my head.
At that point, what was going on?
Shook your
Sorry.
Like affirmative, yes.
Nodded your head.
Yeah, not in my head, yes, correct.
So, at that point when you got to Ashman's building, can you tell us what was happening, if anything?
There was a gathering of observers and I assume party agents with the CEO
Where was this? What part of the building?
right by the step outside of the tabulation room.
And what were they talking about?
To continue the verification process.
What was the CEO saying?
The CEO said he sent for replacement staff.
Now, after this dialogue between the CEO and the people there concluded, did you at any point meet with the CEO?
Yes, the CEO sent for me, and we had a meeting with, I think, Mr. Ben was there, Commissioner Ben was in the meeting.
You mean GCOM Commissioner Ben?
Yes, GCOM Commissioner Ben.
Yes. And where did this take place?
It's in another room, but not the tabulation room.
Was this on the same floor as the tabulation room?
Yes, the ground floor.
And what was discussed when the CEO sent for you and you went to that room?
The CEO asked me if I prefer to call the figures or enter it on the spreadsheet on the computer, and I said anything.
Okay.
Either one.
And did anyone else come into the room?
Mr. Lyfan was there.
Had you known him before?
No.
Well, what did you do after the CEO said this?
Well, we went to the tabulation room, and Lyfan and another staff started setting up the projector and so on to start the verification process.
Okay. And did you all start?
Yes, we did.
Tell me exactly what happened when you started.
Well, Mr. Lyfan would call the figures
From what?
from the statement of pool.
When you say the statements of polls, do you mean the GCOM statements of polls?
Yes, GCOM statement of pool.
Right.
As he called, I will enter it on the computer in the spreadsheet and it will be projected to a screen.
Now, you were entering it on what kind of computer?
A laptop.
And when he started calling, can you tell us what, if anything, occurred?
At first, it was going well. He called and it was accurate. Then some of the numbers were inaccurate and persons in the room were protesting that the figures were inaccurate. So then he will correct himself. And then when he correct, I will have to change the figure to the correct figure.
And what happened after that?
Then he said he's tired and the process was ended abruptly.
Well, from the time you all first started calling numbers for verification to the time that he said he was tired, can you remember how many minutes or hours passed?
I don't recall the minutes, but it was not many SOPs, less than 10.
Okay. And the other GCOM employee in the room, was that person doing anything?
I didn't see back the other person.
Now, before he said he was tired and took the decision to stop the process, did he indicate to you that he was going to do this?
No.
Did he sorry?
You were asked by Mr. Lowenfield whether you would announce the results or enter the data in a computer.
Correct.
And so you eventually, that was your responsibility to enter the data.
Yes, on the computer.
Was Mr. Lyvan also requested or asked what role he wished in this process?
No.
So how come, do you know how come Lyvan became involved?
Because how they do verification, you do it with 2 persons.
Yes, but who authorized him to announce the results?
Well, I'm assuming this is CEO because we were the only 2 staff for the replacement.
And this process was arranged by the CEO?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, so you told us that he didn't speak to you before he said he was going to stop the process.
Correct.
Did you have any indication at all that he was going to stop the process?
No.
And what was your reaction when he stopped the process?
Well, I was shocked because we just started.
And you were working on GCOM's laptop computer at the time.
Correct.
You were the one using the computer.
Yes.
What did Mr. Lyvan do with the computer?
He took it to another room. The
Took
flash
it away
drive.
from you?
Yes. He started to pack up and he took the computer with a flash.
With the flash drive.
Yeah, there was a flash drive plugged into it.
How? From the commencement of the process to the point at which Mr. Lyman said he was tired,
Yeah.
how much time had elapsed? If you said you had only done about 10 statements of code.
The time is not a lot of time, it's probably less than 15 minutes.
Less than 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So from the commencement to about 15 minutes, this man said he was tired.
Correct.
Did he ask your permission to take away the computer from you? Computer and flash drive?
No.
Before he took it away, did he give you a reason as to why he was taking it away from you?
Apart from the reason that he gave everybody, which is that he's tired, he didn't say anything to me.
Can you recall where you had been inputting results from? Which sub-district when you stopped?
It was East Bank.
East Bank, Demerara?
Yeah, Denver.
At that point, did you leave the room?
When Lyvan took the computer?
Yes.
No. I remained in the room.
And can you tell us what happened after that?
Someone came and shouted that Mr. Lyvan is in another room using the computer. So there was like a commotion outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I went outside to see what was going on because everybody was going towards the room that Mr. Lyvan was in. With 2 other female staff also was in here.
Okay. Now this other room, how far away was it from the tabulation room?
Not very far, like you can walk across in less than a minute.
Okay, and was it also on the same floor?
Yes, the same floor.
So did you go to the room where Mr. Lyman was supposed to be?
Yes, I went to the room.
And when you went there, what did you see?
Mr. Lyman was sitting and he put his head on the desk,
Okay.
resting his head on his
Was he alone in that room?
No, there were two other GCOM employees, two female GCOM employees.
And is it correct to say that shortly after that the police came?
Yes, police came.
And at some point did the CEO come to that room?
But shortly after the police came, the CEO came and his personal assistant came.
And can you recall that person's name?
Mr. Hetz, I can't pronounce it properly.
Hetzberger?
Yes.
Did you have a conversation with either the CEO or Mr. Hetzberger?
I had a conversation with Mr. Hetzberger because when he came to the room, the same room that Mr. Lyman in a very hostile tone, he asked me, "Who sent for you? Why are you here?" And I responded that CEO is aware of my presence.
Okay.
And that was the end of it.
Now, I understand that after that, Lyman was taken back to the tabulation room. Is this by the police?
Yes, with escort from the police and CEO and so on.
Sure. And when he was taken back, did you also go back?
Yes, I went back.
So when you returned to the tabulation room, can you tell us what happened?
Well, we started to set up the projector, and in the process of displaying back the results, the persons there were objecting that is not the same spreadsheet that we used earlier.
Okay. It was not, sorry.
When you returned to the tabulation room, the results generated on the screen, I assume,
Yes.
were coming from a computer.
Yeah, a spreadsheet.
Where was this computer?
In the room with Mr. Lyman.
Well, you didn't tell us that.
Yeah, he took the computer.
No, but you said when you went to the room, you saw him with his head on the table.
Yeah, and the computer was up right there.
No, I don't believe that you told us that.
Oh.
Could I be corrected, assuming that the witness did say that? I seem not to recall that. He said he had his head on the table.
No, it's further down.
But,
Correct. Commissioner, you correctly had just said that he had his head on the desk. Now, perhaps I could walk you back a bit.
yes.
When you said he had his head on the desk, did you see anything on the desk?
Yes, the computer was there.
Okay, and when you say the computer, you're talking about
The laptop.
which one? The one from the room that you had been using?
Well, I wouldn't be able to see if it's the same laptop because I
Okay.
didn't memorize how the laptop looked.
Sure, understood. Understood. But he had a laptop in that room?
Yes.
Okay.
And so when he was escorted back to the tabulation room, he took that very laptop that was on the table where he had his head down.
I wouldn't be able to comment. I can't recall if it's the same laptop he took back.
No, he took the laptop
Yeah, he
that
took a
was on the
laptop.
table.
He took a laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you couldn't say whether it was a laptop that was on the table.
Yeah, there was a laptop on the table,
I
but
know.
I'm not sure if it's the same one he took back
That
to
you
the
took
room.
back. Yes, I understand. Yes.
Right. So he took a laptop back to the tabulation room. Now, when you went to the room where he was, did you observe more than one laptop in that room?
No, that's one laptop.
Okay. So he returned to the tabulation room. They started setting up again. What occurred?
There was a spreadsheet that was generated, and the people in the room objecting, saying this is not the same spreadsheet that we use.
Okay, so who pulled up that document?
Mr. Lightman,
And what did he use to pull it up? What?
a laptop.
Okay. This was a laptop he had returned to the tabulation room with.
Correct.
And when you told us that when you had stopped, you think you had been inputting results for East Bank Demerara. Can you tell us whether the data that you saw on the screen pertain to East Bank Demerara?
I know it was East Bank, but I don't know if it's the same data.
Okay.
Well, the data that you were inputting into the computer, were you inputting that data onto a spreadsheet?
Yes.
And you can, when Mr. Livan returned and opened the file, you were able to see a spreadsheet.
Yeah, spreadsheet was there.
Was that the spreadsheet you had been working on?
I can't recall if it's the same spreadsheet because remember he's given me figures,
Yes.
so I won't remember the figures that out of my head.
But the
I was
figures,
just entering figures.
the figures didn't relate to a box with a number?
Yes.
You couldn't even remember that?
No.
The school teacher you said, right?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Well, so you were not taking notes while you were inputting figures, were you?
No.
Right. And when Livan suddenly took the laptop away from you and walked out, you didn't have any figures from which you could write anything down.
No.
When they returned to the tabulation room and people started complaining that there were different figures. Now, before you answer that, let's go back a bit. You referred to a spreadsheet on the projector. So what we're talking about in this case is an electronic spreadsheet, correct?
Correct.
Right. So when people started complaining that the figures were different, what occurred?
There was some intervention from the CEO. I think he would have given a commitment to print out the spreadsheet.
Right. And he gave that commitment to whom?
The persons in the room.
And did anybody ask you to participate in any process or to continue working at that point in the verification exercise?
No, the process was stopped.
But apart from yourself at that point, we know that there were two female officers, two GCOM officers in that other room, correct?
Yes.
And there was the one who had been in the room a few minutes before with you when the projector was being set up.
Yes.
Was any reason given as to why the verification process could not continue?
No reason was given.
And
Not to me.
did you see the statements of polls still there by the head table from where you had been sitting?
I can't recall if the statement was still there.
Okay. After the CEO gave his commitment, did any senior GCOM person say, okay, Mr. Dysing, you are deputy returning officer, could you hold on here for a bit? We're going to continue in a little while. Did anybody have such a conversation with you?
No.
Did they say anything to you at all?
No.
Did they ask you, well, what had happened with Livan and how he had come to remove the laptop?
No.
After that day, or I should say up till this time, did anyone from GCOM ask you about the event that night when Mr. Livan took the laptop away from you?
No.
Did you go outside and wait?
Yes, I was outside the tabulation room.
And while you were there, did anything happen?
A female came and sit next to me and she issued some death threats.
What did she say?
You go there tonight.
Had you known her before?
No.
Can you recall how she was dressed?
I know she had on a white t-shirt.
Were GCOM employees in white t-shirts that night?
Yes.
After she made these death threats to you, did she leave?
Yes, she left.
And shortly afterwards, did you call a car and leave?
Yes, I left shortly.
This person in the white t-shirt said to you, you were dead tonight.
Yeah.
Were you alarmed?
I was shocked, but I wasn't intimidated.
You were not intimidated.
No.
You said at that time you didn't know the person.
I still don't know the person.
You still don't know who it was.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Now, you are aware that on the 5th of March, the returning officer for District 4 had made a declaration of the results.
Yes.
And as a deputy returning officer, what can follow after a declaration is made? If someone doesn't agree with the declaration, what can follow?
Well, there is provision in the law, I think it's section 84, that gives the person who disagrees 12 noon the next day to request a recount.
Okay. And who do they have to give the notice to?
The returning officer.
And if for some reason the returning officer is unavailable, who may they give it to?
The deputy returning officer.
So, from your understanding, you were entitled to receive a notice of recount if required.
Yes.
Now, do you recall the 6th of March 2020?
Yes.
At 8:48, did you receive a WhatsApp message?
Yes, I did.
From whom?
From Ms. Duncan.
Is this the same Miss Duncan who was the RO's assistant?
Yes.
And to whom you had given the statements of polls for both the CEO and the RO?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, I'll get back to that. You received a message, and was this directly to you or was it a group WhatsApp chat?
There's a group WhatsApp chat.
And I want to take you to the 13th of March 2020. Are you aware that on that day there was another declaration?
Yes.
And did you receive any document after that declaration?
I received a request for general recount by the document from Mr. Charles Ramson.
And did you give it to the RO?
No, the whereabouts of the RO was unknown at that time.
So what did you do with it?
I emailed the chairman the request for the recount.
And did you get a copy of that? Did you get a response? I beg your pardon.
No response.
Now I want to take you to June of 2020. Do you recall that? 6th of June?
6th of June.
Yeah.
No, I can't recall.
Okay, do you recall any press releases in relation to your role as DRO?
Yes.
Right. And generally speaking, what was that about?
The CEO, they claimed that they had a meeting with DROs concerning missing documents with the DROs that the documents are missing from. There was a meeting, there was no meeting, so the press release was misleading.
Okay, and you understood that press release to be in relation to you and other DROs?
Yes.
So did you take any steps to correct what had been put out in the press?
No, I didn't at that stage. No.
This press release was issued by whom?
GCOM PR.
And it was to the effect that a meeting was had with DROs concerning some missing documents.
Yes.
Okay, so did the group of DROs not issue a statement on the matter?
That's what the press release stated, but the DROs concerned with those documents never attended the meeting.
No. Okay, so we have GCOM issuing a press release saying, among other things, that they had met with you and other DROs, correct?
Correct.
And did you send any email to anybody correcting this?
Yes.
Okay. And was that reported? What you said in that email, was that reported in the press subsequently?
Yes.
Now, sir, I'm going to ask that you be shown certain things. So, okay, so I'm going to ask that a document be passed to you. You now have a document in your hand. Could you tell me whether you recognize the person in that picture?
Yes.
Who is that person?
Mr. James Bond.
And that's the person who had chucked you when you had entered Ashman's building.
Correct.
Might this be admitted as PJ1? Sorry, PJ2. I have copies for commissioners. You spoke about receiving a WhatsApp message from the assistant to Mr. Mengo, Miss Carolyn Duncan,
Yes.
instructing you all not to accept any letter for her.
Yes.
And I'm going to show you a document. Have a look at that.
Yes, same document.
Is that a printout of the messages which was sent by Miss Duncan and received by you and others?
Yes.
I have copies for the commissioners. Might this be admitted as PJ3? You told us that you had sent, after receiving a notice for a recount, you had sent an email to the CEO of GCOM at the time. I'm
Yes.
asking that a document be shown to you. Sorry, I beg your pardon. To the chairman of GCOM.
Yes.
Is that the email that you sent?
Yes.
Might this be admitted as PJ4? We have copies here. Now, we also talked about two press releases. One which spoke about a meeting which you said GCOM claimed that you all had attended. You had attended and you had not.
No.
And then another which referred to an email which you had sent.
Yes.
If you see those press releases again, will you be able to identify them?
Yes.
Two documents are being placed in your hand. I want you to look at them carefully. Yes, are those the press releases to which you referred?
Yes.
I'm asking that these be admitted and marked together as PJ6. PJ5, I beg your pardon. Yeah. Copies of them together. Right, thank you. Now, in paragraph 7 of your statement, sir, you say that you have a video of what occurred when people were asking the CEO to resume the verification process.
Yes.
I'm asking that we view the video.
Have the video on when we return from lunch.
Certainly.
You take the agenda
That's right.
and resume at 1 p.m.